Herrada takes the day ahead of Breakaway, 3-second margin. Cron, Cathebo, Geraint Thomas was 19 seconds down. Sanchez, Moulin, Prudhomme, Godon, and Ghana, your top 10. Ghana doing most of the work out there for the breakaway and ensuring that it had a handsome margin over the chase. When the chase came in, well, it was good as well to see that Evenepoel still out there to nick at a margin whenever he possibly could, and indeed just failing to dispatch Primož Roglic off his back wheel, or indeed Sepp Kuss. Hugh Carthy kept it honest as well, but Sepp Kuss stays in the lead of this race. No change in his gap over Marc Soler. Remco Evenepoel, young riders classification leader, is third overall. Minute 36, Primož Roglic, who still needs to find time. Lenny Martinez in 5th place, 2 minutes and 2 down.
Jesús Herrada was the last Spanish winner at the Vuelta a España last year. He becomes the first Spanish stage winner at this year's race. And that was a phenomenal win, wasn't it, Dan? It was hard ground out.
It was, yeah. I think he'll be more pleased with that stage win than the one he took last year, which, as Robbie just pointed out, was in a photo finish. Because the two riders that he beat, Gregoire and Cron, they've got a really big burst to the line, and he had clear daylight between himself and those two riders behind him. We saw the effort he put in by his manner after the finish. He put everything into that. But he's got a stage win at the Vuelta. Like you said, last Spanish stage winner before this race, stage 7 last year. Got the Spaniards off the mark this year as well. And
in the last few hundred metres, it looked like it could have come down to a photo finish once again. Everyone was still together. So to get that daylight over that few number of metres was really impressive, Adam.
It was, yeah. It was a proper explosion. It was almost... He just looked fresh coming into that final. As soon as he started sprinting there, the wind was blowing behind from the helicopter. It blew a couple of barriers over, adding to the drama. But he just took off like a helicopter did in that final. I mean, just away from the other riders. It was a very impressive sprint. We expected a long sprint from the likes of Primož Roglic today, but that was probably the longest.
We're still waiting for that one, aren't we?
We're still waiting for it.
I want to maybe see if we can replay that shot of him coming across the line, because I really feel for his swan year, celebrating like his life depended on it, and then being rugby tackled by 2 Spanish policemen, bless him.
I wonder whether they just thought it was an overzealous fan jumping over the barriers to celebrate with the stage winner. But like you said, you've got a feel for him. He was still there with the winner after the stage, wasn't he? But yeah, that's how much it means. It's the first win for Cofidis at this race as well. So a big moment for them off the back of what was a very successful Tour de France. But yeah, I mean, they're big guys, aren't they? The people on the side of the road marshalling at the Vuelta a España. I've noticed that a lot.
Big to me, maybe to you. But...
He's been working out. Yeah, there were ASO officials to begin with, and then the policemen come in. Of course, he was getting in the way of the stills cameras, so maybe that was it as well. But this is what you referred to earlier, the effort that it took out of Jesús Herrada. He looked fresh crossing the line, anything but at this moment, Adam.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you knew he was trying hard. And it's almost that where you can see his swan year, like, is there, like, anyone medical around that might be able to assist me here? But
I think he's still shell-shocked from the rugby tackle.
Yeah, but it does those efforts there. We saw the pace that Filippo Ganna set. That was an incredible sprint, but the effort beforehand, it's really, like, going up to your maximum and beyond. So there's no wonder he's laying on the ground like that. It was... We know how important stage wins are to anyone, but the riders that don't, they're not the GC riders, so they don't come that often, basically. You have to go to your max, you have to go beyond your max, and you can just see by his effort there, he did exactly that.